Well, it's been a long time since I've been able to say this, but there is hockey in the Art Hauser this afternoon, and if that doesn't make you breathe a sigh of relief, I don't know what will. You're with Rob Mann this afternoon for the green and white game between the Raiders' opposing sides in their camp scrimmage, the final scrimmage of camp before some decisions need to be made courtesy the coaching staff, and a fine afternoon for hockey it is. I always love the time of year when you can come to the rink in shorts and looking at the crowd, and it's nice to be able to say there is a bit of a crowd. I would say a few of the spectators agree with me on that sentiment. Training camp's always a fun time of year for that and other reasons. It's also a little bit of a weird animal. The players here are trying to balance the need to not injure their future potential teammates and the desire to be one of those teammates. You need to put your best foot forward, and for some of these players throughout camp, that has meant throwing their weight around a lot. It's been a physical series so far, and the players have played a lot of hockey. Expect to see some oddities today. For example, maybe some penalties where you don't think there should have been one, because the idea, of course, is for the players to practice their man advantage. In fact, during the younger players' scrimmage last night, they spent the entire period alternating 5-on-3s. Of course, this being training camp, none of the players have had much of a chance to practice together, so power plays might look a little bit interesting. We'll introduce you to the players as we go along, but to get things started off, let's take a look at who the goaltenders will be for each team. For Team White, Spencer Borsos, with the Calgary Royals last year and Northern Alberta Extreme Prep before that. He got into one game the previous year with the U18 squad. The numbers jump off the page a bit. One game, one goal against. Hard to get much better than that. Matthew Mallon is the other goaltender for Team White. With the San Jose Junior Sharks, he posted a 162 GAA and a 936 save percentage, then went to the Northern Alberta Prep team last year with a 267 GAA and a 900 save percentage. It's worth noting, though, that all of last year's numbers need to be taken with a grain of salt because very few players, with the exception of those who played directly for the Raiders, got into more than a bare handful of games. In the other end, the goaltenders for Team Green don't need a lot of introduction. Max Hildebrand was with the team in the bubble, and although he got into no games, he did play 3 for the Saskatoon Contacts, and it's hard to have 3 better games than he had, a 167 GAA and a 944 save percentage. And Carter Sarienko, another guy who doesn't need much of an introduction. Prototypical goaltender build at 6'4" and 190 pounds. In the 1920 season, he had a 221 GAA and 916 save percentage. A little bit of a dip last year in the bubble with a 399 GAA and 856 save percentage. But that's to be expected when you're playing in probably the weirdest environment any of these players have ever played in. And I'm sure most of them would be happy never to have to play in that kind of bubble environment again. If the experience in goal favors Team Green, the experience on the blue line seems to go to Team White, as both the first-rounders in camp ended up on that back end. Nolan Allen and Caden Gooley wouldn't be a bad pair at the World Juniors. In fact, in a few years' time, it might not be a bad pair in the NHL. But as it is, they are both on Team White, and Team Green has the unfortunate goal of trying to crack that defense pair. The veterans on Team Green on D are Remy Aquilon and Landon Kozier. Trey Fouquet and Adam McNutt bring some experience as well. Fouquet is in a bit of an interesting position. The Warman native is almost certainly leading the camp in goals by a defenseman. They don't officially keep that stat, of course, and we'll run you through who some of the other leaders in camp are as we go. But Fouquet was scoring goals pretty much every game he played before getting into action last night, where he scored again. He's developed a heavy shot that he's good at getting through traffic. We're starting to see some of the players come to the ice here. Dallin Pikakut's taking a quick lap. The officials are on. The fans are almost all in their seats, and it's just about time to get hockey season unofficially underway. And it does feel good to be able to say that after the last 18 months of nonsense. In about a minute and 12 seconds, we'll be starting the green and white game. Almost nothing is set, whether it be in terms of ice time or in terms of where players are going to play this year. There are still a few things up in the air, and today's game will help the coaching staff decide on what their goals are going to be heading forward for the exhibition series, which, by the way, will begin next weekend. The Regina Pats will be the exhibition opponent. We'll wait to see who the starting goaltenders will ultimately be. The teams were decided, by the way, in a snake draft format yesterday evening. And as is always the case when two coaches make a snake draft, chances are there's a friendly wager on the line here. So even if the players are feeling a little lackadaisical, some of the coaches might say, hey, get going. You're going to cost me a bet. 24 seconds remaining until we get the green and white rosters on the ice. And for Team Green, it looks as though Carter Sarienko will be the first man out the door. Sarienko, as mentioned, the most experienced goaltender in camp at the moment, having played in both the 2021 bubble and the 1920 season. The 1920 season, he had particularly impressive numbers, a 221 GAA and a 916 save percentage. Camp, though, is always a little bit scrambly. And sometimes defensive coverage isn't, let's put it this way, what it will be by the time Mark Habscheid, head coach of the Raiders, has ironed out some of the inconsistencies that come with a training camp. And the unofficial camp lead in goals and points, by the way, is still up for contestant. And Alex Mack is one of the players leading the way on that front. He'll be wearing number 14 for Team Green. The other player who's been scoring at an alarming clip, Michael Horon. He, too, is fighting for that camp scoring lead, and he will be on the other side wearing number 16 for Team White. We mentioned that Team White has Nolan Allen and Caden Gooley on the back end. They also don't have any defensemen under 6'2". That's a pretty big blue line. Liam Rodman at 6'2" and 194 pounds is the smallest of the group. Gooley and Allen are both a little bigger than that. Terrell Goldsmith is listed at 6'3" if you believe elite prospects. I do not. I do not believe elite prospects. He is taller than that. In fact, he'll stand shoulder to shoulder with Gooley and Allen at various points, and you'll realize they need to look up to him. He's got to be at least 6'5" by now, and that's a scary thought considering he was already playing bigger than his size at times last year. Green takes to the ice, led by Sarienko and Dallin Pikakut. And now comes White. And their first man out of the gate is Spencer Borsos. Followed closely by newly acquired Keaton Sorensen. He'll be wearing 20 for White. He was picked up in a trade last month from the Red Deer Rebels. Played 2 years there. Scored 7 goals as a rookie 2 seasons ago. And so much of last year is hard to get a read on because players were playing in unfamiliar environments, and in a lot of cases, again, with players who did not play in the Western Hockey League, very few of them played more than a handful of games, and some of them, in fact, did not play any games at all. For example, officially, Nathan Gossu, a 2005-born forward on Team Green, played no games last year for the Okanagan AAA program. The year before, he had 44 points in 32 games, so the offense is obviously there. But there was some rust to shake off when camp began. The players now have had a couple days to shake it off, and the hope is the green and white game will provide some pace. We'll step aside for a moment and come back just ahead of puck drop for the green and white game for the Prince Albert Raiders. The players have waited long enough to get back on the ice here at the Art Hauser Centre, and the fans have waited long enough to cheer them on, so let's not make them wait any longer. The green and white game is scheduled to begin. You're with Rob Mann this afternoon. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday. Down to my broadcast right is Team White. To our left is Team Green. Green will be led off by Remy Aquilon on one defensive side, Keegan Beagle on the other. Up front they'll have Alex Mack, Dallin Pikakut, and Eric Pierce, the centerman. Caden Gooley starting out for Team White. He'll be joined by Terrell Goldsmith. Herman will face Pierce in the dot. And we're just about ready to get things started here at the Art Hauser. It's a relief to see the puck down and to get things underway. Aquilon chases it down in the far corner. Lost it at the right point to Herman. He tried to send it deep off a glove, and Pikakut will fish it ahead. Scrambly play in the neutral zone to start things off. As Ivan Kedrov brings it over the line, he'll dump it deep. Sarienko, the green goaltender, directing traffic as Niall Crocker of White goes in after it on the forecheck. Turned it over to Pierce, and the veteran will skate it out to center. Puck takes an odd hop on Caden Gooley, who gets squeezed against the boards. Mack picks it up for Green. He's fought off by Crocker. Two Green players in the corner. To the right of goaltender Spencer Borsos. Around the corner it comes for Goldsmith, and he'll pick it up for Kedrov off the glass and out to neutral territory. Beagle on it. Got thumped in hard by Goldsmith, and we got the first big hit of the game. Kedrov into the middle, dangerously finds Gooley as heading off his Pierce. Gooley's got room to move, but he's tired. And 45 seconds into the opening frame, he'll dump it in for Tucker Buhay to track down. Sent around the far boards, Ironside is on it. He dodges a check from Sorensen. Sorensen, however, gets the puck back for Buhay. Tried to go back to the point and does for a shot through traffic by Golden. And Sarienko makes his first save of the contest. Wesley Golden standing 6'4" and 190 pounds. And he blends right in on that Team White defense. As mentioned, nobody under 6'2". Sorensen will take the draw against Cale Sanders. And Sorensen wins it for White, but he won it too cleanly. It's all the way back into White territory. Nolan Allen recollects, watched by Ironside. He'll spin it around for Golden. Golden getting lined up by Warkentine, who's contending for the camp lead in body checks if they keep that official stat. Landon Kozier battling with Buhay right in front of the penalty box doors. Got double teamed and finally turned the puck over. Buhay will fire this out. And down into the green zone. A minute 30 gone in the first period. Only the one shot so far and no goals yet. As Kozier plays it up the near side. Got picked off by Buhay. Buhay, another player in the contention for that camp hit lead as White makes a bit of a change. Price starts the breakout for Sanders. He'll dump this past Gislason and head for a line change. As out to play it is Boris. Rodman for White. Looking for a lane. He'll send it ahead. Got dumped off the boards and now out to center ice where it's picked up by Warkentine of Green. He'll sling it across and on to Adam McNutt. McNutt goes back across, but Laventure had to wait or there would have been too many men on the ice. Carter McKay of Green, stick handling at the bench, lost control, and it's picked up by Gislason back in his own end. 2 minutes gone in the opening period of the green and white game. Smith coming over the line for White. Drives up the middle and shoots. Sarienko steers that back to the glass. First man to it will be Healy. He'll send it to the near side. The only man there is wearing green, and it's Laventure. He's out to center ice. One-on-one with Goldsmith. He'll break over the line. Goldsmith stands him up, and the puck comes back to the near side for Smith. Smith pinched up on by McNutt. Nearly turned the puck over and now does. Goldsmith in to bail his buddy out, and he'll send it around the far boards for Caden Gooley. Gooley off the wall. Return pass dangerously taken away by McKay. He'll fire this down for Laventure to go after. He and Goldsmith fight for it again. Laventure at the side of the cage trying to lift it loose and could not get a shot away. Again, Goldsmith there to take away that opportunity. Up the near side comes Wilson. Forced back to Gooley in the corner to the right of Borsos. And now on for Goldsmith. He'll air this out to center ice 3 minutes into a scoreless first period. The only two shots of the game belong to Team White. Remy Aquilon, the 20-year-old, winding it up. Sees a lane and takes it. He'll sling it rink wide and on to Marchant. Marchant trying to cut to the inside. Makes a move to the middle. A shot from a bad angle. Scores! The opening goal of the game comes off the stick of Nathan Gossu, as he caught Borsos a little too far off his post and beat him from a bad angle. And on their first shot of the game, Green takes a lead 3 minutes and 13 seconds into the opening period. So we've got the icebreaker. And Gossu's going to remain on the ice with Eric Pierce and Rhett Marchant for Green. Pierce sends the puck back. Remy Aquilon will go track it down in the corner to the right of Sarienko. Up the far side for Marchant. He's chopped at, can't get it out against Golden. Golden flips this back down, but Pierce is the only man there. Pierce stood up, and now it's picked up by Herman of Team White. 8 goals in 20 games last year for Herman. He's the leading returning goal scorer in camp. Pierce collects the loose change. Bouncing puck fought for on this near side. Back to the point it comes. Allen walks along the line and fires through traffic off a body and high. Cassette wins it back to the line for Golden. Golden shoots, fearlessly blocked by Pierce, and Pierce is all over him to hound him out to center ice. Possible odd man rush for Green, but Pierce is exhausted and Allen is back to make sure nothing comes of that. 4 minutes into the first period. Green holds the 1-0 lead. Gossu has that goal. And the long lead feed by Nolan Allen missed the intended target, so this puck will come all the way back into White territory. The faceoff will be to the right of Spencer Borsos. Herman will be trapped out there for Team White, along with Crocker and Kedrov. Sanders will be the faceoff man for Team Green. He's got Pikakoot on his right. Alex Mack tried to lift it free for Green, but the long reach of Golden gets it out to center ice. Price ahead for Sanders. He'll tip this past the defenseman and in for Mack at the right circle. Mack fires and he put it high and wide. Around the boards it comes to be held by Kosher. He tries a shot that never found the cage. Price from the right point. His shot blocked by Kedrov. To the line it comes. Sorensen tries to force it out and can't. It's sent back down low. Sanders will go after it against Nolan Allen. Allen of Team White. Ahead he goes, and on to Kedrov. Kedrov will play this ahead for Sorensen. He's got Crocker with him, and Gislason joining late. Crocker back in the middle for Sorensen, a backhand try, and a big save by Sarienko. Filling in at the right point, that pass was just beyond the reach of Rodman. 4 minutes, 45 seconds gone in the first. White with their first good chance, they trail 1-0. Kedrov bottled up on the near wall and forced back into his own end by Pikakoot. He'll go across for Gislason. Around the wall for Sorensen. Tries to poke that through and can't. It's picked up in the middle by McKay. Tried to hand it off to Pikakoot and lost it in the feet of Gislason. Scrambly play in the white zone. Gislason will collect and send it around the dasher. Rodman trying to settle it down, getting lined up by Warkenstein, and Warkenstein got the worst of that. McKay gets the puck though, throws it into the middle for Ironside. He ripped that wide. Pinching in there was McNutt, but he lost control of it. Kedrov will lift it out to center, getting tracked down by McKay. His pass finds the foot of Crocker. He stops up and waits for help. Feathers it into the middle. Ironside is there to break that up. Chased out to center is Michael Horon. He'll leave it behind, and the Raiders will get in a change. Caden Gooley on to Michael Horon, breaking over the line. At the left circle, he shoots. He put that well wide. Buhay collects the rebound and throws it towards the goal off the foot of McNutt. Lavonshire settling things down. He'll sling it rink wide off of Smith's heel and back into White territory. Gooley is first on it. Left it for Goldsmith. Goldsmith dodging one forechecker, now another. He'll send it up the near side. And it's sent up the boards to be held in by Fouquet. Fouquet for Lavonshire. Back to the right point he goes. Beagle's got room to walk in and shoot off a body. It never found the net. And Haran will pick it up. Buhay streaking the other direction, takes the pass down the right wing side. He's bottled up by Beagle as he goes into the near corner. 6 minutes gone in this first period, a 1-0 Green lead. Fresh off the bench comes Herman, dodges two checks. At the left circle, he fires, and Sarienko leaves no rebound, catching that with ease. 6:25 into the first. White's got 4 shots. Green has only the 1, but their only shot has found the cage. Herman will take the faceoff against his 22 counterpart in Green, Eric Pierce. 2 veterans going into the dot, and it's Green that came up with it for a moment. Wilson could not corral it, now does. Back to the right point, along for Golden, fanned on his shot. Second effort, he'll get it down low. Wilson of White, worked over by Remy Aquilon of Green and Eric Pierce, and they come up with the puck. It's shoveled off the glass and out to center ice. Lavonshire roughed up and put into the turnbuckle there by Golden, which allows Nolan Allen a little breathing room, but not enough. And Lavonshire comes back hard on Golden. A little bit of revenge there for the recent hit. Herman starting the breakout with Healy. It's poked out to center ice, stopped up there by Remy Aquilon, and Lavonshire gets it back again. He's been wanting the puck on his stick all camp as Lavonshire. It showed in every scrimmage, and he's got it now. Poke check, though, and there might be a breakaway chance here for Herman. He's over the line, but he's offside. As the play had to move a little too quickly, 7:09 into the first. Green leading 1-0. The only goal of the game so far coming from Nathan Gossu. And they're going to bring this one back just outside the white zone. Cassette, Hoylett, and Sorensen coming out for Team White. Sanders and Sorensen in for the draw. Sanders, a former Regina Pat, wins it. He'll chip it off the glass and go after it down the right wing side. Sanderson back across for a shot, blocked before it got through. Marchand couldn't pull the trigger, but gets it back to Kosher, and now the return feed. Sanders in the far corner. Back to the top for Price. He shoots through traffic, blocked before it got anywhere near the net. And Hollett now trying to go away with Cassette. Cassette in against Kosher in the near corner. They go body on body. Kosher knocks him off the puck and kicks it loose. Sanders bottled up by a couple forecheckers, makes the play to the line, not out. Gislason fires, steered aside and into the mesh. Sarienko calm with the paddle on that one. And you kind of expect that of Sarienko. The 2002-born goaltender is the most experienced goalie in camp, as we've mentioned, and had a sterling start to his Raiders career with a .221 GAA and .916 save percentage in the 1920 season. Sorensen for the draw against Carter McKay. McKay wins it and leaves it there for Fouquet. Fouquet trying to escape the forecheck, leaves it for Alex Mack. Well, that hard on the forecheck, refusing to let anyone get away from him. Now he'll leave it for Sorensen. Sorensen backhands it up the wall to Gislason. He's got lots of traffic, goes across for a shot by Rodman through traffic. It's in on Sarienko, and he hangs on. White has dominated the shot clock 8 minutes into the first period. That's their sixth, just one by Team Green, but the only one from Green, from Nathan Gossu, did go in. They lead 1-0. Sorensen and McKay will do battle in the dot again. Sorensen for Team White. McKay defensively for Green wins it back. Fouquet onto Pikakut, and he'll lift this out to center. It hops over the stick of Alex Mack, and this will go all the way down, but Mack beats out the icing. Left it for McKay behind the net. Tries to wrap it back out front, nobody home. Forced away from Mack in the far corner for Green. White gets this ahead. Sorensen tracked down and hit hard by McKay, who knocks him off the puck. Puck one-handed ahead to Alex Mack for Green. He'll go to McNutt. Over the red line he comes, trying to lead the rush. Drops it back off for Pikakut. He's got room to walk in and shoot. Stick checked neatly by Smith. Caden Gooley finding Niall Crocker. He's got Horan joining him on this rush. Horan picks it up, got stopped up by Fouquet. Crocker follows up, slings it across for a one-timer, rolled wide by Kedrov. Crocker back to the left point for Gooley. Quickly across he goes for Goldsmith. He's got room to shoot and does, and Sarienko takes that right in the Raider crest. The seventh shot he's faced, none have solved him yet. 11:07 left in the first. 1-0, Green has the lead. And there have been some good chances for Team White, but because Sarienko isn't coughing up any rebounds so far, none of them have looked all that threatening. Horan and Pierce into the dot. Pierce wins it back for Green. Beagle lost it in his feet for a moment. Gets it back across for Aquilon. He's leaned on by Crocker as they fight in that far corner. 9 minutes now gone in the first. Green holding the 1-0 lead. White trying to cut into it. From the point comes Goldsmith with a shot. Sarienko steers that to the boards. Ironside rips it around the far side. All the way out to center ice. Caden Gooley there for White. Poke check neatly by Eric Pierce. They'll go back for it in the corner. Behind Borsos, it's thrown back up front for Workentine. He was all tied up. A big rebound for Ironside, and he chopped it over the net. Green with a chance to add to their lead. Missed both chances. Picked up again by Pierce. Trying to walk off the goal line and shoot, and he scores! Eric Pierce found a seam. 10:28 remaining in the first period. There have been just a handful of shots for Green, but they've scored on 2 of them, and Eric Pierce has the most recent goal. Eric Pierce broke out offensively in a big way last season. 16 points in 24 games in the hub environment. And he's been showing off the hands in camp too. He's pulled a couple of rabbits out of his hat, stick handling wise. On it on the far side is Tyson Smith. He'll get it in, but no further. Nolan Allen recollects for White. He'll start Herman the other way on a 3-on-2. Herman at the right wing side, throws it back into the middle. Buhay was knocked off the puck neatly by Beagle. Allen now up from his point position, trying to get some offense going. Sent around the far boards. First man to it is Smith for Green. He'll stop up and wait for reinforcements. Nice move to avoid Buhay. Up the near side now and on to Sanders. He got belted by Allen, but got the puck in deep. Back forward is Golden. Working on Lavonshire. He makes a couple of moves out of the corner. 2 White players come in and rattle the end boards. Smith picks it up. As a man got tangled up with the official, it's poked out front. Past Beagle and out to neutral territory. Past the midway mark now with the first, with Green holding a 2-0 lead. Despite White holding an 8-2 shot advantage. In the corner is Smith. On his backhand, he's watched by Nolan Allen. Allen wraps him up. Smith now trying to wrap it back out front. And the only man there was Evan Herman. He knocks it away from McKay, but not out. Price in from the right point, throws it towards the goal, and Herman blocked that, giving White a little bit of breathing room. Not much, though, as McKay's tracking him down. Herman gains the line and dumps this in. White making a change. 9:18 left in the first. Green leading by 2. Price throwing this ahead beyond the reach of McKay, and Rodman will have a little bit of breathing room. Healy trying to poke this in past Kosier. Kosier stops him up and starts the breakout the other way. Onto the tape of Gossu, who opened the scoring. He makes an inside-out move and got stood up by Gislason. Price's shot got blocked, and Wilson is on it. To the far side, Sorensen. He pokes it past Kosier and hustles in after it on the forecheck. Pokes it around the wall, too far for Healy, and Kosier's the first man back for Gossu. He waves at it, gets it out to the neutral zone, but no further. Forced to stop up, and it's knocked back in by Sorensen. Sorensen met by Price. That'll allow Green time to get out to neutral territory, but again, no further, as it's picked back in by Healy. He flips it up to Wilson down the left wing side. Wilson tries to throw that back for Healy. It was poke checked by Kosier. And McKay leads the charge out to center with 8:27 left in the first. He's one-on-one with Goldsmith, who straightens him up. Around for Gislason. Rolling puck was hard to handle. First man to it is Carter McKay. Wilson bodied on the far side but stays on it. Lifted free by Mack. Mack makes an inside-out move, just picks it up on the near boards. Back to the right point for a shot through traffic by Fouquet, and a redirection. Pounced on and held by Spencer Borsos, and a good save for him. Had a bit of a tough start letting in the first two shots, but rebounded nicely on that one. A redirection by, again, Gossu, who opened the scoring. A shot by Fouquet to find the cage. 2-0 Green leads, 8-4 White leads in the shot count. Face off in the white zone to the left of Borsos. Eric Pierce, the most recent goal scorer for Green. Down the wall for Pikakut on the cycle. He's met by a couple of white bodies. And another shot by Pikakut banging away, this time stopped by Borsos. Goldsmith on the left wing side. Tried to go rink wide for Ouellette. That's beyond his reach. All the way down it goes. And icing is the call. 7:45 left in the opening period. Green keeping the same bodies on the ice. Pierce, Mack, and Pikakut. Fouquet and McNutt. All of whom have scored multiple times in camp so far. But Mack, the youngest of the bunch, probably the most impressive in terms of his offensive totals. Face off to Borsos' right. Pierce goes forward with it. Lost control, and Gooley will collect for Team White. Gooley passes it ahead to Horon. He'll chip this past Fouquet. Fouquet squeezes him up against the linesman. Meanwhile, a falling Green player gives a little bit of extra time for Cassette to get the puck for White. Puck goes high in the air and hits the rafters here at the Art Hauser. And that'll bring about a stoppage. And there's a wire right in front of me there that's meant to hang banners and does hang a few. That is still vibrating after eating that puck. 7.5 left in the first. Horon remains out with Ouellette and Cassette. Face off to the right of goaltender Carter Serienko, who has not yet been beaten. Goldsmith from the left point shoots, and Serienko makes another save calmly into his trapper. The 9th shot he's faced, he's stopped all 9. Sanders and Horon into the dot. Horon the win, back to Goldsmith. Quickly across to Gooley. He'll go down the wall for Horon. Horon trying to spin it back for Gooley, lost control. Sanders to the line, not out. Gooley holds it in. Sent down deep, and a couple of players going back for it. Remy Aquilon wins the battle for Green. It's poked off his stick high in the air. Goldsmith on the bench frees it up for a shot by Ouellette that may have hit Serienko before it went out of play with 7:06 left in the first. 2-0 Green leads. First goal coming off the tape of Nathan Gossu, the second from Eric Pierce. They were the first two shots faced by Spencer Borsos. Since then he's settled in and made a couple of nice saves. The puck is far from him though. Right now the faceoff is coming to the right of Serienko. Evan Herman will take it against Cale Sanders. Sanders wins it back for Aquilon. Left it in the corner and onto the tape of Beagle. Bounce pass out to center ice. Eludes Sanders and goes all the way down. Golden's got a hustle though as Ironside is tracking him down. Golden wind up by Ironside, who missed completely and found the end wall. Warkentine, first man in it on the forecheck. 6:45 left in the first period. Sanders goes up for Ironside, a shot blocker save. And a good one at that by Borsos. Aquilon hangs on as he plays it around the far boards. First man to it is Nolan Allen. He looks up ice. Can't get it out as it's held in by Beagle on a down low 2-on-1. Beagle shoots and no rebound off of Borsos, who took that right in the Raiders' crest. 6.5 left in the first. Shots are 10-7, favoring Team White, but they trail 2-0. The faceoff is in their zone. Lavonshire, McKay, and Smith, the forwards for Green. Herman and Kedrov out there for White. Puck one back to Kozier of Green at the left point for a shot through traffic that Herman got the heel of his stick on to deflect. Sending it around the wall for Nolan Allen. Carter McKay tracking him down. He plays it up the boards for Kedrov and out to neutral territory. All alone is Herman. Herman on a clean break, walks in and shoots, put it over the net. Gets his own rebound as he's roughed up by McKay in the far corner. The best chance of the game for Team White. Pass picked off by Gislason. He's got room to walk in and does. Gislason shoots and he put it wide. Tucker Buhay now for White on the forecheck. Up the boards for Nolan Allen at the right point. McKay blocks that dump in, and Lavonshire might have a step. Lavonshire now and Gislason battling for the goal. Towards the goal, Lavonshire a backhand try, and it's smothered by Borsos. Just as Lavonshire himself was smothered effectively by the defenseman Gislason, who did not take a penalty. 5:50 left in this opening frame. Starting to open things up a bit, and it's already 2-0 Green. Pierce will take the draw against Sorensen. Pierce wearing green, lost it to Sorensen, and the first man to it, Gislason. His pass up the boards eludes everybody, and it's all the way down the ice. McNutt will get there first. McNutt Tracked down by Buhe, stops on a dime in the far corner and gets it up the boards. It kicks right back to McNutt, and Gossu will have to hustle back with Lodwick all over him. McNutt again trying to escape a two-man forecheck. Up the boards, picked off by Sorensen. Sorensen poke check neatly by Fouquet as it comes around the far boards. Pinching in is Rodman for White, but he can't keep it alive, and Eric Pierce scoops it up. Pierce down the left wing side, one-on-one with Gislason, who pokes him to the far boards. On it is Marchant. Got lined up and knocked down hard by Sorensen, and that'll create an odd man rush. Over the line comes Lodwick. Wide to his left, he'll throw it back. Buhe picks it up at the circle and shoots, blocked before it ever got near the cage. And Fouquet will lead the charge the other way. Down for Marchant down the left wing side. Back to Fouquet on his backhand. He'll go to the forehand now, saved by Borsos. Rebound sits in the crease, and it's swept away by the back-checking Sorensen. And for Team White, he'll lift this out to neutral territory. Sorensen kicks it past one checker, carries over the line as his mates change. At the right circle, Sorensen waiting for reinforcements. Finds Wilson off the bench, but he can't dangle through three players and picks it up on the near wall. Back to the point for Goldsmith, and it just goes off his skate and over the line. The rolling puck was not Terrell Goldsmith's friend on that one, so with 4:35 left in the first, we'll take a draw just outside the green zone. Green leads 2-0. Goals by Gossu and Pierce. Sanders up against Horan in the dot, and Sanders wins it back. Beagle playing it up the boards to center ice and no further as Goldsmith sends it right back in. Sarienko out to play it. He's faced 10 shots. Sarienko hasn't stopped all 10. Another shot through traffic. Save. Rebound for Wilson. Scores! Sarienko went to make the first save. Wilson was there for the rebound. And he tucks it in on the backhand to get White back within one. So with 4:22 left in the first period, it's a 2-1 lead now for Team Green as Wilson finally solves Sarienko on the 12th shot of the game. Puck flipped up ahead by Sanders. He'll try to go into the middle, blocked on the first try, makes it through on the second, but Gooley is there for White. His pass tipped in by Wilson, who goes in against Aquilon. Across to the tape of Beagle. Beagle flips a high riser out to center. Goldsmith is on it. It's knocked down deep to be picked up by Gooley to the left of his goaltender. Gooley tries to fight it loose. Sanders is there to rough him up on the boards. He's getting some help from Horan. As Green wins it back to the right point, Beagle chops it wide of the goal. 3:45 left in the first, a 2-1 Green lead. Pikakut stops up, tries to go low, blocked by Wilson, and he'll knock this past Aquilon out to center. Aquilon knocked him down with a cross-check, and we have the game's first penalty. Aquilon's in a tough spot there. If he doesn't knock Wilson down, it's probably, in fact almost certainly, a 2-on-1. But Aquilon, a 20-year-old, has a little bit too much strength on that cross-check, and so takes a penalty. 3:37 remaining in the opening period. White trailing 2-1, but they're off to the man advantage. Herman is the centerman. Ouellette and Cossette flanking him. He's got Nolan Allen and Wesley Golden behind him. But Green wins the draw, and Kosher will rifle this off the glass and down the ice. Well placed by Kosher to not put that out of play. Allen behind his net, winding things up. Comes away from the penalty killer, Warkentine. His backhand pass across, finds Ouellette, dumped in and picked off by Price, who thinks about going the other way with Warkentine. Warkentine squeezed off by Golden on that near side, but gets right back after it. Finally, the puck comes loose, and starting ahead is Cossette. Down the left wing side, got lined up and chopped at by Ironside as he dumped it in. Herman fighting for it in the corner now with a couple of White players in reinforcements. Back to the line for Allen. Allen trying to get set up at last for Herman at the left circle. Back to Allen at the top. 1:19 left in the White power play. Puck thrown towards the goal by Golden, and that's picked off by Kosher and sent the length of the surface. 2-1, Green has the lead as Nolan Allen goes back to collect it from behind his goaltender. Ahead he goes to Herman. Herman dodges his way through center ice, drops it off for Sorensen. That pass was in his feet. Sorensen now coming up the near side. Got ridden off the puck by a couple of Green players. It's picked up by Gislason at the left point. Gislason with some room. Fires it across to Rodman, but that pass hopped over his stick and out to center ice. 45 seconds remaining in the man advantage for Green. Sorensen trying to start things up here. Kicks it over for Crocker. Crocker at the left circle on his backhand. Stops up against the checking of Fouquet, who rubs him into the glass, but Crocker is still on it, using his size to shield the puck. Back to the left point for Gislason. Across to Rodman. Rodman waits for traffic and shoots, tipped just wide by Sorensen. Crocker will try again from the left circle. Making moves as he's worked over by Laventure. Two big bodies as it's picked up again by Crocker. Around the net he goes. Tried to go out front, blocked before it got there by McNutt. Held in by Gislason. Gislason makes a move on Laventure with 10 seconds remaining in the man advantage. And finally, Green collects it and sends it down the ice. And that will do it for the power play. Remy Aquilon is standing up and ready to get back into the play with 1:37 left in the opening frame. Long lead pass for Kedrov. He waved at it but could not make contact. And that will make it icing against White. If you're just joining us, you're with Rob Mann this afternoon. 2-1 Green leading White in the Green and White game. First goals coming from Nathan Gossu and Eric Pierce, both for Team Green, before Zach Wilson bit into the lead. And that's where we stand with 1:31 left in the first. Faceoff coming to the right of goaltender Spencer Borsos. McKay for Green, kicks it loose. Back to Aquilon and across to Beagle at the right point. Beagle shoots through traffic. Big time save by Borsos off a late redirection by Gossu. And that's the second time he's done that. Kedrov picks it up and comes the other way. Leaving it for Horon with a head of steam. He's got Kedrov driving to the net. Kedrov picks it up on the backhand, saved by Sarienko. He looked behind him for a moment, but eventually found that puck was right between his pads. 1:11 left in the first. Good chances at each end. The first, a redirection by Gossu, and a reaction kick save by Borsos. The second, a partial break. Kedrov stopped by Sarienko. The faceoff is to Sarienko's left. And the first man on it is Horon. Back to the point for Gooley. He walks and fires off the line. Shot blocked before it got through. Collected by Rhett Marchant. He'll fire it to center ice and onto the tape of Gossu, who had the game's opening goal. He's stopped by Goldsmith. Goldsmith to the line, not out. Held in by Beagle for a drive that he blasts over top the cage. Horon is on it. Body on body with Aquilon. He'll leave for Buhay. Gets it over the line. Aquilon comes up with the puck. Across for Gossu. 42 seconds remaining in the first period. Horon stops the Green rush at center. Following back up is Marchant. He drives wide on Gooley, then got hip checked by Horon, and there's a penalty coming to Team White. And they're going to call Horon for kneeing. So after enduring a penalty kill of their own, Green will get a chance to work on the power play and restore their 2-goal lead. It's 2-1 in their favor with 33.7 left in the first. Eric Pierce, Dallin Peekakute, Alex Mack, Landon Kosher, and Carter Price, the attacking unit for Green. Pierce is the face-off man. He'll be up against Evan Herman. Draw to the right of goaltender Spencer Borsos. Puck fished free and on to Price. For Kosher at the right point. He'll walk into the middle, fake the shot, and go to Pierce. Pierce back to Kosher. He's got a maze of bodies in front of him. Won't take the shot, goes to Pierce instead. Back to Kosher. Now he'll take the shot, and he put it wide off the leg of Mack. 17 seconds in the period. Kosher for Pierce for a one-timer. Punched away by Borsos. Rebound for Mack, and Borsos stopped that too, and this time left no rebound. 10.2 seconds on the clock here in the first period. Green will have that long to work on the power play unless they score. They lead 2-1. Pierce will take the draw against Herman again. Pierce for Green, Herman for White. Puck rolls high in the air, glove down by Kosher at the right point. Fanned on his shot, it's picked up by Herman. Kosher gets it right back. His dump out attempt blocked. It pinballs off the helmet of Nolan Allen and stays in play. And time expires as Peekakute collects the puck at the bottom of the right circle, and that will wrap up period number 1. We'll start period number 2 with a $1.27 remaining and the penalty to Michael Horon for kneeing. Green leads 2-1 after 20 minutes on goals by Gossu and Pierce. The reply coming from Zach Wilson of Team White. We'll step aside for the intermission and return with period number 2 here on the Raiders YouTube channel. Off to a flying start here at the green and white game. Period number 1 in the books, and green leads 2-1 after 20 minutes, and we're about $1.30 away from period number 2. The shots are 13 for white, 12 for green, so a pretty even contest so far. Green, however, does have a chance to extend their lead. They were up 2-0, and they'd love to get back up by 2 again. A minute 27 remaining in the penalty to Michael Horon. You're with Rob Mann this afternoon. The rink smells like popcorn and french fries, and there's players getting ready to get back on the ice at the Art Hauser. Life is good. In that opening period, Carter Serianko was the busier and slightly more successful of the two goaltenders, making 12 saves on 13 shots. Even he was not invincible, though. And Spencer Borsos letting in 2 goals on 12 shots at the other end. The scoring got started from Team Green off the stick of rookie Nathan Gossu. Goal scoring is so much opportunism, and Gossu was certainly opportunistic. He saw that the goaltender, Borsos, was cheating a little bit off his post, so he fired it off his leg and in to make it 1-0. Eric Pierce made it 2-0, continuing what's been a pretty offensively successful camp for him so far. Dragging the puck off the goal line at the side of the net and flipping it over the shoulder of Borsos to make it 2-0. Biting into the lead was Zachary Wilson of Team White. A shot from the point was stopped initially by Serianko, but the rebound picked up, and Wilson was able to tuck it in on the backhand. Rather than just firing it right back into the pad, he showed good patience, dragged it to the backhand, and tucked it home. Period number 2 begins. Green on the man advantage. Sanders, Ironside, and Warkentine are the forwards. Price and Kosher the defensemen. White answers with Goldsmith as one defenseman, Gooley another, Herman and Sorensen up front. Herman and Sorensen have been paired together an awful lot during camp so far. Draw one by Green, and we're underway. 1:22 still remaining in power play time as Ironside winds it up. Ethan Ironside chips this off the glass and goes in after it in the far corner. Worked over by Gooley, and Warkentine in to help him out. Puck scrambled up in those boards. It comes free for Green. Sanders wins it back to Price. Price across to Kosher at the left circle, waiting for traffic. He rolled the puck, and Herman will pick it up. He's poke-checked immediately, but Sorensen is there, and he'll send it down the ice. Into the back half now with a penalty to Michael Horon. Kosher will collect from his goaltender, Serianko, and start the other direction. A quick pass onto the tape of Warkentine. He'll dump and chase. Out to play it is Borsos. He'll fire this up the middle off of Kosher and in! Borsos bounced that off of Landon Kosher, but we're getting this waved off. The referee is signaling that Kosher gloved this into the net. If so, that's a heck of a reaction by Landon Kosher as that puck came at him in a hurry, but the goal is being waved off. So Team White and Spencer Borsos can breathe a sigh of relief as Pierce goes in for the faceoff. White wins it back, and that gives Golden all the time he needs to play it down the ice. Fouquet and McNutt are now the power play defensemen for Team Green. Fouquet makes a move on Buhay and comes up the near boards. A couple of players in on him. He gets it through to Pierce on a 4-on-2 now. Pierce into the middle. Forced back as LaVenture. On to Fouquet at the right side. Back across for a one-timer by McNutt. The rebound to the corner. LaVenture picks it up. Around the net, he goes up the near boards. On to McNutt at the left point. Across to the right for Fouquet. Back down for Pierce at the circle. 10 seconds of power play time left for Green. Fouquet wants the one-timer. That wasn't in the wheelhouse. McNutt slaps it across to Pierce. Pierce shoots off a stick and high. Standing in the box is Horon and ready to come out. McNutt pinches down the wall. LaVenture can't lift it free, and now the other way comes Lodwick, but he's met immediately by McNutt. McNutt lifts that back in for Pierce to go in after. Borsos out to play it. He'll send it safely around the boards. Fouquet pinches in from the right point. Bodied by Lodwick and knocked down. Pierce is in to help him out. Fouquet right back to his feet, gets it down deep. LaVenture wins the battle down low. Back to the point for Aquilon. Across to Fouquet at the right point. Waiting for traffic. He'll throw that through Pierce's feet. LaVenture picks it up at the side of the net. It's swept away by Borsos. Fouquet still holding from the right point, though. Fouquet takes a shot through traffic. It never got to the net. Poked away in the crease. Back to the right point, and again, Fouquet will hold. Another shot through traffic punched away by Borsos. LaVenture on it for Green. Stops on a dime against Horon, who wins the battle and carries the other way. He's got Buhay on his right. Horon poke checked by Fouquet. Buhay will go after it against Remy Aquilon. 2:20 into this second period. Green leading 2-1. And now holding the shot on goal advantage as well. LaVenture out through center, spots Pikacut on the near side. He's one-on-one with Rodman. Pikacut stops up, waiting for help. He's got a man off the bench. Aquilon coming in from the left point. Fires, he fanned on it. Rebound saved by Borsos. And he smothers it. 2 minutes, 38 seconds into period number 2. Aquilon had room to walk in, but the puck would not cooperate. Aquilon, a perfect example of what a trade can do for a player. His last season in Victoria, he had 4 assists in 50 games. Last year, he had 16 points in 24 games. And he's got the puck at the left point. Sends it down for McKay. It's beyond his reach. Rodman is there first for Team White. Up the boards he goes for Wilson, who has the lone White goal. He flips this ahead, and skating onto it with speed is Herman. Herman trying to cut his way to the goal, drops the hip and carries in. He got hauled down hard. That might be a penalty shot, but it is at least a penalty. And we will see what the official decides. It's a holding call, not a penalty shot. 3 minutes into this second period. White gets a chance on the power play to square the score. 15-13 the shots on goal favoring Green as Beagle heads off for the hold. So the faceoff will be coming up to the right of Sarienko. Herman, the man who drew the penalty, will take the faceoff for Team White. He wins it back to Wilson, but he lost it in some feet. Gossu can't get it out, however. Fought for on the far wall. 2 players from each team in there. Herman trying to come up with it for Team White on the man advantage for another minute 50. Beagle sits for the hold. Herman sends it back up the boards to Gislason. At the left point, he'll walk along the top of the umbrella. To the right side, Rodman has room to walk in for a shot blocked by Kosier. Rodman tried the shot pass. Kosier read that and blocked it aside. Behind the net is Price. He'll slap it around the wall. It hops over the tape of Gossu, and Herman holds it in. Back down he goes, on to Wilson. He collects the rolling puck and pokes it ahead. Not far enough. It's to the line, but not out. Another try now as Healy comes in after it. Pinching up again. Herman at the left circle. Dangles to the middle. Across he goes for Rodman for a shot. Blocked again by Kosier. And Kosier soccer plays that off the boards. Kicking it to himself and knocking it down the ice. 1:08 remaining in Beagle's minor. 2-1 Green leads. Gislason trying to erase that lead. Drops it back off for Healy. Throws it towards the goal. He just missed a streaking Sorensen. And the other way goes Ironside shorthanded 1-on-2 as Ouellette and Gouli are both back. Ouellette knocks him off the puck. Gouli collects, watched by Sanders. He'll lift this ahead, and White will start the break in. 46 seconds remaining in their power play. Healy's pass bottled up, and that will allow McNutt to blast this off the glass and down the ice. 37 seconds remaining in the minor penalty to Beagle. Gouli has some power play time to work with. He'll find Goldsmith. Goldsmith skating, pursued by Warkentine. He leaves it at the right point for Gouli. Along the top he goes, dodging Warkentine. Pass too hot for Ouellette to handle, but it rolls on into the corner for Sorensen, who pokes it up the boards. Not hard enough. Pierce will scoop that up. And Pierce and Warkentine go away shorthanded. Warkentine trying to bust his way in at the circle. He's poke checked by Gouli and steered hard into the back boards. 10 seconds now of power play time. White trying to get an odd man rush. Ouellette has Sorensen joining him right up the middle. Hit Sorensen, but the pass was just too hot to handle. And Cassette's forced to chop it down low as out of the box comes Beagle. And Beagle nearly picked that up and went on a breakaway. He's now 1-on-1 with Allen, who takes him off the puck. And as it rolls in, Borsos is going to smother that. 5 minutes, 8 seconds gone in period number 2. Green still holding that 2-1 lead. A power play each way at the start of this middle frame. But neither team able to solve the other's goaltender. And again, these players haven't had much time to practice with each other. Power play systems are going to be a little thin on the ground. McKay in for the faceoff against Horan. Horan wins it. Nolan Allen flips this high out to center ice. Crocker trying to track it down and negate the icing, and he does against Remy Aquilon, who takes him down and pokes the puck away. LaVenture leaves it for Carter McKay. Quickly up ice, too quickly, it's picked off, and Golden sends it back in. Crocker on it in the near corner. Twisting away from McKay, trying to pin that puck. As Crocker tries to poke this back up the boards. On to Golden at the right point for a shot, blockered away by Sarienko. Allen pinches in. Makes an inside-out move. Remy Aquilon takes the puck away and starts the rush. Aquilon for LaVenture, trying to toe drag move. He got stopped up by Kedrov, and then Kedrov got rammed in hard by LaVenture, and he looks like he's shaken up. White trying to pick the puck up. It's Nolan Allen. He lost it to McKay. Coming out of the corner, Carter McKay. The Yorkton Mauler, who had 7 points in 7 games as a rookie last year, wins the puck back to the line, but it handcuffed Aquilon and went out to center. Beagle on it, getting worked over by Kedrov, who puts him into the bench. Kedrov feeling a little ornery after taking that big hit. Pikakut at the top of the white zone, dances on a tightrope and manages to hold it onside, now throws it towards the goal. Allen partially blocked it. Back up front for Pikakut, and he couldn't get all of that. Another try for Smith at the side of the cage. Borsos sweeps it away. 6.5 gone in the second, still a 2-1 Green lead. Herman wins the battle free for Kedrov. He's got Buhay rushing up the ice. Buhay pokes it past Kosier. But Kosher recovers and starts the rush the other direction. Sanders over the line, cuts to the inside, lost it. Picked back up by Mack, but the puck would not settle for him. And the other way with speed comes Harrison Lodwick. Lodwick one-on-one with Kosher, trying to drag move, and Kosher rocked him into the boards. Price looks ahead, can't get it out. Gislason pinches up on Mack and plays it down the wall for Herman. Physicality ramping up here. The score remains 2-1 as it's thrown across for Rodman at the right point for Team White. Rodman throws that through a screen. It hit Sanders and never got through. Sanders will skate it out to center ice. Just over 7 minutes gone in the second period here. It remains that 2-1 Green lead. Sanders lined up and hit by Herman, but makes the play through to the corner. Rodman for Team White. His pass too far for anyone in his own colors. Price will collect it for Green as White makes a change. Price got lined up and hit by Buhe, but made the play out to center ice. Puck dumped in and out. To play it is Sarienko. Kosher on it for Team Green. We're nearing the time where the goaltenders may consider changing for each team. Gooley lost that in his feet. That allows Pierce to come over the line. Gooley then takes him down hard and flips this out to neutral territory. Price sends it back in, and Gooley will try again for Goldsmith. 12 minutes left in the second. 2-1 Green leading. Wilson, who has the lone White goal, dumps this in. McNutt is the first man back to it for Team Green. Up the boards he goes. Goldsmith pinches. Wilson helps keep it onside. McNutt will have to try again to the left of his goaltender. Slings it around the dasher. Gossu keeps it onside for the moment. Picked up by Wilson. Wilson for Team White carrying around the net. Throws it back to the top for Goldsmith. He's got a lane to shoot. Passes off instead for Sorensen. Cuts to the inside. A backhand try never got through. Sorensen retrieves the puck. Makes the play back to Goldsmith at the left point for a shot put high and wide. Gooley now at the bottom of the right circle. Fires from a bad angle. And Sarienko produces no rebound. 11:29 left in the second. Green a 2-1 lead over White. 18-14 they lead on the shot clock. 15 now. And each team, as mentioned, has had a power play opportunity in this second period. Neither one of them able to make good on it. Carter McKay and Michael Horon for the face-off to Sarienko's left. Green gets it to the line, no further. Paulette on the right wing side. Two Green skaters on him. He's taken down. Makes the play anyway, though, to Horon at the right circle. Horon back for Paulette for a shot, and he got blown up as he let it go by Warkenstein. And Paulette looks like he's slow to get up. Puck now lifted out to center. Nolan Allen gloves it down. It goes into the bench. As Ouellette is back to his skates after getting rocked as he let the shot go by Warkenstein. Another player who, as we mentioned, is in the running for the camp lead in body checks. Not out here to win friends or influence people. Face off outside the White zone. McKay will take it and win it for Green. McNutt backhands this in. Icing waved off as Warkenstein goes in on the forecheck. He'll get there first. Leave it there for Ironside. Ironside comes in with a hit. Warkenstein throws it out front. It goes by everybody and all the way down the ice. Nearing the midway mark of the second, Green a 2-1 lead. All the scoring done in that first period. Trey Fouquet has it for Green now. Across to McNutt. McNutt looks up ice. That pass picked off by Ouellette. He walks in, has Horon with him, throws it back door. Just missed Horon's tape. Cassette. His shot blocked by McKay. Carter McKay picks up the puck. Plays it back to himself, lost it in a sea of bodies, and now gets it back again as Warkenstein is scrambled up on the far boards. Horon picks his way free. At the right circle, he'll curl back, trading places with Nolan Allen. Back to Allen, but it was beyond his reach, and he'll have to track it down at center ice. Patiently, Allen starts the rush for White. Over to Horon, trying to go back to Allen, who forces it over the line. Crocker throws it back door, but Sarienko sensing something, couldn't corral it. Rebound, they put it through the crease. Kedrov had an open net. Horon picks it back up. White's starting to press now. I thought Sarienko had the puck covered, and apparently so did he as we pass the midway mark of this second period. Green now forces it over the line. LaVenture leaves it on for Smith. A toe drag to the inside. He got through, but could not get the shot away. Puck rolls out front. Sanders on it. At the left circle. Throws this down low for LaVenture. LaVenture back to the top for Remy Aquilon. Aquilon fires. Trapper save, and no rebound from Borsos. 9:36 left in the second period, and White came oh so close to the equalizer. Sarienko went to pounce on that puck, sensing some trouble, but White was able to knock it loose. And now Sarienko will depart the game, having surrendered just the one goal on 18 shots. 15 shots, excuse me. His replacement, Max Hildebrand, who was with the team in the bubble last year. New goaltender, Matthew Mallon, coming in for Team White. Mallon, as mentioned, a star with the San Jose Junior Sharks program before moving up to play with Northern Alberta Extreme Prep. So new goaltenders in the pipes, and the faceoff will be to Mallon's left. Sanders looks to be the man taking it for Team Green. Herman, the faceoff opponent for Team White. Herman with 8 goals in 20 games last year, the leading returning goal scorer for the Raiders. But in order to give the goaltenders a little bit of a chance to warm up, Herman will take some shots on Mallon, and it looks as if Sanders will have that honor on Hildebrandt. If you're just joining us, we are just past the midway mark of the second period as we traded off goaltenders, It is a 2-1 Green lead. They were up 2-0 on goals, first by Nathan Gossu, second by Eric Pierce. Then Zach Wilson bit into the lead later on in that first period. Since then, the teams have traded chances and power play opportunities, but neither one has been able to solve the other's goaltender since that first frame. But there are 2 new goaltenders now as we pass the midway mark of the contest, at least the midway mark of regulation time. Max Hildebrandt to my broadcast right, who played last season with the Saskatoon Contacts, an abbreviated season, as it was for just about everybody, with a 167 GAA and 944 save percentage. Matthew Mallon comes in. San Jose Junior Sharks standout, had a 162 GAA with that team his most recent year there before coming north to play for Alberta Prep. So with the goaltenders warmed up, or as warmed up as they're going to get, we have Sanders and Herman, the faceoff men. Herman for White, Sanders for Green. The faceoff is to Mallon's left in the White zone with 9:36 left in the second period. And Green nursing that 2-1 lead. Rodman on it for Team White. Flips it a high riser out to center for Herman. He could not corral it. Aquilon could. It's picked up and sent across to the far side, Sanders. Sanders takes a drag shot, blockered away by Mallon, his first official touch of the contest. Smith at the left point. Leaves it on for Aquilon. Back down low and back up front for Aquilon. A shot save again by Mallon. Swept around the boards by Gislason. Rodman will play this up the wall. It's sent up the glass and out to center ice. Remy Aquilon will be back first for Green on the far side. Beagle picks it up. Sends it off the boot of Sanders to the near boards with under 9 now to go in the second. Again, that 2-1 Green lead. Aquilon getting forechecked, makes the play up the boards. It bounces off a skate right in front, but Crocker could not pull the trigger. Herman picks it up at the right circle. Gooley now pinching in. Left the puck behind and on to Goldsmith for Herman, who takes the handoff. Wide to his left with speed through the zone. Herman around the attacking net, waiting for an opening. None presenting itself. He'll fake the handoff to Gooley and fire it across the ice for Goldsmith. At the left circle, he shoots, saved by Hildebrandt. Rebound cleaned up by Sanders. Sanders has got to be a little tired. He's been out there a while. He'll lift it up to LaVenture, and LaVenture will flip this to the line and just out as he's erased hard by Goldsmith. Goldsmith getting a chance to show off his physicality in this game as Sanders breaks in over the left wing line. Throwing this down deep. It's wide of Mallon to be picked up by Harrison Lodwick, a second rounder just last year. Goldsmith leaves it for Gooley. 8:05 left in the second. Gooley off the glass, on to Lodwick with a head of steam. He'll carry over the line wide to his left, poke check neatly by Price, and around he goes for Kozier. Kozier fighting off Buhay, makes the play up for Pikakut. On his backhand into the middle, too far for everybody. Gooley tries a shot redirected wide by Buhay. Kozier up the boards for Alex Mack. He tips it through his feet. Pierce trying to kick this out to center ice and does as he fights forward against Gooley. Buhay sweep checked, but a little bit of help from Goldsmith. White keeps possession. Down the right wing side, Goldsmith comes, trying to take it to the goal and does, but just wide as Lodwick knocked it past the open cage. First man to it is Sorensen. Sorensen curls off the wall and shoots off the mask of Hildebrandt. It's behind him, but it's cleaned up by Price. Allen from the left point now as White presses. His shot was blocked and it's knocked out to center ice. 7:15 left in the second. White again coming close, but still a 2-1 Green lead. Allen up the middle for Buhay. It's tipped into the zone, picked up by Kozier. He'll leave it behind for Price. His pass nearly picked off. Now it is picked up by Horon. He'll throw this across for Buhay. Buhay bounces this off the boards for Horon. Left it behind as he was fighting off Pierce. Alex Mack, though, can't get it away. Pierce will try again, and this time he'll get it out to center. Golden on it. Back up he goes for Healy. Healy will chip this past Price. Kozier's got to hustle with a couple of white sweaters coming in on him. He'll turn it over to Golden. Back to Horon, breaking over the line. Darts past Marchand. Horon hits the trailer. Allen makes a move to the outside. Nolan Allen still with it. Fires, saved by Hildebrandt. Rebound sits on the goal line, and it's swept wide. Another try for Wilson. That shot blocked by Kozier. Pierce can't get it out, however. He chopped the stick away from Nolan Allen. No call coming. And now a breakaway pass for Marchant. Marchant walks into the backhand. Stopped in tight by Mallon. Back at the right point, Fouquet as they open things up here. Fouquet's shot is blocked, and the other way goes Team White. Fouquet comes back to erase his check. Turned it over now to Horan. He's forced to the corner. Horan out front. Pass rolls to Wilson for a shot saved by Hildebrand, and this time no rebound. 6:01 left in the second. The two teams are pressing offensively each way. The 2-1 score has been preserved by some timely defensive sticks and a couple of scrambly saves each way. Most recently, a breakaway stop by Matthew Mallon on Rhett Marchant. Herman for the faceoff for Team White. Lost it to Carter McKay of green, and that'll give Fouquet some time. Fouquet, hard pass, finds McKay at center. He's one-on-one with Rodman. McKay taken to the corner boards. Rodman takes him off the puck, lost it in his feet, and kicks it up to Gislason. Quick pass for Ouellette. Backhand pass ahead finds Herman, but it's knifed away by McNutt. McKay trying to come back the other way. A couple of players in on him. He does get it over the line, but no further. Fouquet picks off a pass and walks in at the circle and shoots off a body and wide. At the left point, Ironside filling in, chops it towards the goal again wide. 5.5 left in the second. Fouquet will slap this down low. Gislason picks it up and just got out of the way of a hit from Ironside, who has been making the boards rattle all camp long. Herman tries a couple of moves just in front of the Green bench with 5:15 left in the second. McNutt will take it now for Green. Back to Fouquet with room to gallop. Through center he comes. Now right up the middle. Fouquet trying to drive wide on his backhand. Sweep checked by Rodman. Warkentine in to help him out. Thrown up for Ironside. That pass was beyond his reach, and Sorensen starts the other way. He's got a forward and Sanders back playing defense. Over to Cassette for a shot. Trapper save Hildebrand. The rebound pops loose. Warkentine the first man to it. Up the glass and out to center. Gooley stops that rush dead in its tracks and flips it back in. 4:44 left in the second. A 2-1 Green lead. A holdover from that first period. Sanders takes the pass ahead. Possible 2-on-1 as Ironside joins him. Ironside in the clear. Fires. Save in tight. Mallon again. He's faced two grade A chances and stopped both. That one off the tape of Ethan Ironside. Mallon not surrendering anything there. The faceoff will be to his right. Pierce will take it for Green. His opponent will be Sorensen of White. Green wins the draw. Beagle down the right wing side, shoots, blocked by Kedrov. Aventure right back on it, turned it over to Goldsmith. Goldsmith airmails one out to center ice and hits the scoreboard. He was looking at Crocker, and Crocker was looking at nothing but white ice in front of him. That would have been a breakaway pass, but the scoreboard is a little lower here at the Art Hauser Centre than it is in some other rinks. And rather expensive, so you hope he didn't tent it. Face off to the left of Mallon. Horan will take it against Pierce. Horan wins it back. Goldsmith collects. Around the net he comes. A backhand pass ahead. Finds Crocker. Now quickly back to Horan to start the rush. Horan fires it to the far boards. Kedrov trying to track it down. Around he goes for Horan in the corner. Twisting and turning on Pierce. A couple of 20-year-olds competing for a spot. Horan wins it free for Crocker. Tried to go back out front. That pass was blocked, and LaVenture goes the other way. LaVenture fighting for it against Crocker. A couple of big bodies collide on the far boards. That's knocked past Nolan Allen, fresh off the bench, and down the ice with 3:50 left in the second. Shots are 22-20 for Green. They lead 2-1 in the scoreboard as well. Allen spins off the forecheck of Pierce, sends it up the glass and around for Crocker. A little hot to handle. Gooley will have to try again. Allen resets from the far corner. Backhander up for Kedrov. He'll chip this up the glass and out to center ice, where it's met by Remy Aquilon. 3.5 left in the second. Beagle knocked off the puck by Crocker, but made the play through. Pikacut now pokes it ahead to Aquilon, who shovels this in deep. Out to play it is Mallon. He's faced a couple shots so far, both grade A chances. Gooley up the boards for Kedrov, who's been out for a while, and will be out a little while longer yet as Green breaks back in, led by McKay. McKay bodies with Allen. Kedrov on it again. Bounces it back to himself and now gets it out to center. But again, Green stays on it. Mack breaking past Allen. Pokes this ahead for Pikacut. He'll take it into the corner boards. Pikacut clubs it around the wall. McKay in on the forecheck. Can't get control of it the first time. Lodwick now turns it over to Mack. Mack wide on Gooley, who straightens him up against the far boards. And we've got a whistle as the net has been dislodged, and that will give some tired White skaters a bit of a chance to catch their breath with 2:47 left in the second. 22-20, the shots on goal, 2-1 the score, and again, all that scoring done in the first period. Green's goals coming from Gossu and Pierce. Zachary Wilson answering for Team White. As they get the net reset here down to our broadcast left. Mallon has been busy since coming into the game, making a couple of breakaway saves. McKay for the faceoff for Green. Lodwick picks it up off the draw and accelerates out to center ice. He's poke checked by Kosier as he comes down the near wall, but stays on the puck. In for it is Herman. Herman walks off the wall and shoots. He put it just high. Herman twisting and turning. Kicks the puck free. A couple of green sweaters draped all over him. He's still got the puck on his backhand. Herman curls back to the forehand and throws it just wide. Peekakoot for Team Green now. Pass ahead, hits Mack in the midsection, and it's picked back up by Lodwick. On for Buhay. Over the line he comes. Buhay shoots. Hildebrand the pad save. Rebound to the left point for Nolan Allen. The Blackhawks first rounder walks on a tightrope, throws it up for Lodwick. His one-timer goes wide. Kosier collects the rebound. On for Price. Price quickly ahead, too quickly to find Mack. Mack will poke it back to himself, however, and through to Carter McKay. McKay at the left circle has a man coming off the bench, but Gossu got that pass interrupted by Lodwick. At the right point now, Fouquet for Green takes the shot, blocked by Herman. That stung him. 1:52 left in the second. Fouquet down low again for Gossu. Back to the point he goes for Sanders, but that hopped over his tape and heads back into Green territory, buying a little bit of breathing room for White. McNutt quickly ahead for Marchand. He's poke checked by Rodman before he can gain the line. Bailey will come the other direction, hands it off for Sorensen. Sorensen trying to break his way to the goal on the backhand, got hauled down, left it there for Wilson. Sorensen a backhand try, never found the net. Back to the point he goes for Rodman at the right side with 1:22 left in the second. Gislason fires through traffic, hit a midsection and never found the net. On it is Sanders of Green, taking it back behind his net to try and settle things down as White's forecheck has been relentless on this shift. Sanders will bring it ahead for McNutt. Good patience to avoid the forecheck of Wilson from McNutt. Across to Fouquet and back to McNutt. Back to Fouquet as they play catch with Wilson, the lone forechecker. McNutt back on it. 55 seconds left now in the second. Rodman hustles up to keep the play onside. It's steered to the corner boards by Hildebrand. Gossu for McNutt and quickly through to Sanders. Sanders waiting for an opening. He'll find one and bounce it ahead. On to Marchand, who's got men joining him. Across he goes to Gossu. It was in his feet. He could not pull the trigger, and then he got him out high and hard on Gooley, who slams him down in the corner. Breaking the other way is Sorensen. 30 seconds left in the period. He'll find Healy. Healy's pass hits Ironside right in the tape, but Ironside's on the wrong team, so Pierce will send it ahead for Warkenstein. Warkenstein over the line, avoiding Ouellette. Backhanding it down low for Ironside. A couple of players in on him with 15 seconds left in the period. Aquilon down low to Ironside. Backhands it across into the middle. Healy, the only man there, finds Horon. Horon for Ouellette. Trying to go back to Horon. That pass off a skating wide, and Warkenstein will pick it back up out to center ice off a body. Again he tries. This time he gets it in deep as Goldsmith got tangled up there with Pierce right in front of the Green bench as the period expires. Another 20 minutes brings no change in the score. It's still 2-1 Green. We'll be back for period number 3. It's been a tight one through 40 minutes. We should expect nothing less in the final 20 here for the green and white game. Entering the period with green leading 2-1. You're with Rob Mann tonight as Eric Pearson, Michael Horan go for the face-off. Horan wins it for white, and it rolls in on Matthew Mallon. LaVenture first to it for green. He's roughed up by Goldsmith. Turns it over to Crocker, who breaks it ahead. Crocker's pass just misses Kedrov. He's going to get first to it on the forecheck in the near corner. McNutt scoops up his missed pass, goes across, it rolls back to the point. Gooley from the right side fires through traffic, tipped high and wide. Kedrov back up the boards, trying to go to Gooley, but it wasn't hard enough, and Smith will get this out to center. Gooley all over him. Knifed away by Horan and picked back through center ice. Green trying to break away against Crocker, having no luck there. And Gooley will pick it back up. Fouquet dumps this ahead for Pierce. A bad change for White. Pierce has got to step in. Comes Eric Pierce to the forehand. He got knocked down by the poke check from the goaltender Mallon. And Horan will wind it back the other direction. Horan on a 2-on-2 rush joined by Nolan Allen. He'll drive wide on Fouquet. Horan trying to cut to the backhand. Scores! Michael Horan drove the net and opened up the 5-hole on Max Hildebrand and slipped it home to tie the score. Chances for the 20-year-olds at both ends. And Horan makes good on his to tie the score at 2 and continue his gallop towards the unofficial camp scoring lead. So we are square at 2. The first goal since that opening period off the tape of Michael Horan. Remy Aquilon picks it back up for Green with Tucker Buhay in his back pocket. Alex Mack turns it over to Buhay. Buhay back across, and it rolled on Sorensen before he could pull the trigger. Sanders around the wall for Aquilon of Green, and again he's got Buhay right on him. Picked up again by Lodwick at the bottom of the circle. Backhands it out front, but a shot by Sorensen, saved by Hildebrand in tight. Lots of chances in the early going as Pikakut sends it out to center ice. No further. Golden collects. Across he goes for Sorensen. He's poke checked neatly by Sanders, and Alex Mack will take it the other way. Mack comes over the line, gets by the first man, not the second, then it's back to neutral territory. $1:40 into the third. We're tied at 2. Michael Horan just squared the score. Dallin Pikakut poke check by Buhay at the bottom of the circle. Buhay walks in and fires from a bad angle. The rebound popped out front. Pikakut was there to collect. Sorensen picks Pikakut's pocket. Pikakut picks it back, and Sorensen takes it back again. Beagle around the wall for Price. Up the boards, poke to the line and out. Rodman collects it center ice for Team White, who has the momentum at the moment. Healy breaks in over the line. Lost control of it against Beagle. Pikakut gets it on the near side. Back across he goes and on to Marchant. Marchant over the line. He's got McKay with him. McKay on his backhand. Bounces it back to the point for Price. Price goes quickly across for Kozer, who fanned on that shot, but he gets another try at it from the left point. Drives one through traffic. Off the pad of Mallon and wide. Kozer holds in from that left point again, fighting with Wilson. He wins the battle to Marchant. Quickly over and on to Price, but that was outside the zone. 2.5 into the third. The lack of scoring in that second period, by the way, wasn't for want of trying. A power play each way, a couple of breakaways. At one point, a puck actually got behind Hildebrand, but an alert defensive stick prevented that from being a goal. Face-off now between Herman and McKay. McKay wins it for Green. And Landon Kozer will have to track it down to the right of Hildebrand. Kozer out from behind his net. Patiently ahead for Marchant through center. Wide to his left over the line. Marchant throws it across. That pass tipped away from McKay. Gislason behind his net for Rodman. Rodman will break this up for Wilson. Quickly up the ice onto the tape of Healy. He's trying to split the defense. Herman could not get through as Kozer came back with an alert defensive stick. Kozer trying to poke this up the boards and can't. McKay comes in to help him out. Around he goes and on to Price. Price for Marchant, who chops this all the way down the ice, and just over 3 minutes gone in the third. That will be icing as Goldsmith got back defensively. 24-21 the shots on goal favoring Green. Nobody with an edge on the score clock anymore. Michael Horan tied the score early in this third period. And Horan will be out with Ouellette and Cossette for a face-off to the right of Hildebrand. Goldsmith and Gooley, the two defensemen. McKay to take the face-off against the veteran Horan. They chop at one another in the dot. Finally, the puck dropped, and McKay, who's been good in the dot tonight, wins another one. Gossu, who opened the scoring, comes through center and lifts it in. Gooley retrieves it to the right of his goaltender and comes out the near side. Quick pass ahead for Cossette. Cassette makes an inside-out move to get away and now flips it high into the zone. McNutt gloves it down. Picked up by Cassette, who walks in and fires. Shoulder save, Hildebrand. Big rebound for Ouellette for another try, put just wide. In from the point is Goldsmith. He's got possession, goes across to Gooley at the right side. His shot off a stick and out of play as Ironside got in the shooting lane. Good chances for White to take their first lead of the contest after they got down 2-0 early. Goals for Green off the stick of Gossu and Pierce. Horan and Wilson answering for White. And Horan again in for the faceoff, this time against Sanders. Puck one down deep and Fouquet picks it up for Green. He'll fire it ahead to center ice. Sanders might have a 2-on-1 with Ironside, but the puck would not cooperate. Warkentine now, rubbed out by Goldsmith. Picked up by Caden Gooley. Gooley sends it up the glass and out to the neutral area, and they're going to get a face-off here as it was offside. Fouquet could not hold the line. So the face-off will be outside White territory. 4 minutes played in this third period. We're tied at 2. Horan will take the face-off against Sanders again. They're getting well acquainted with one another in the dot. Green wins that one with a little help from Warkentine. Golden around behind the net for Nolan Allen. Allen quickly ahead for Cassette. He'll lift this off the glass and ahead. It rolls in. Trey Fouquet has possession for McNutt and quickly ahead to Ironside. He knocks it out to center. White keeps possession with Nolan Allen. And look out, McNutt stepped in hard on Ouellette and just missed him. Fouquet now starts it the other way for Warkentine. Warkentine stops up. Fouquet tries to hold the line, does for a moment, but now it's out to center. Ouellette is on it. He's got to hurry to get there ahead of Beagle. Ouellette fighting for it against Beagle and throws him off the puck. Lost his stick doing so, however. Warkentine is in defensively. Back behind the net is Trey Fouquet. Just about 4:45 played in this third period, and we are square at 2. Golden retreats into his own zone. He'll pick it up behind goaltender Matthew Mallon, who's made some big saves in what is so far about a period of action. Golden on the far side will dump this in, wide of Hildebrand. Puck rides the dasher and settles down for Beagle. He'll get this up the boards to LaVenture, but not out. 2 White bodies in on him. LaVenture knocks this ahead and onto the tape of Smith. He's one-on-one with Rodman. Manages to break past him, but not past Crocker. Crocker lined up and bodied, but makes the play. Quickly over to Sorensen down the far side. 5:20 played in the third. We're tied at 2 as Sorensen breaks in. Aquilon straightened him up, but he got it over the line. Thrown out front, Gislason. He could not connect with the intended target. And Aquilon will one-handed ahead for LaVenture, who picks it up from behind his back. LaVenture cuts to the inside, leaves it behind for Pierce. Pierce handed off to Aquilon. Aquilon at the circle. On the backhand try, save in tight Mallon, and no rebound. When he's been tested, Matthew Mallon has been good. The shots haven't come fast and furious, but they all seem to come from grade A areas, including a couple of breakaways back in period number 2. Pierce and Herman, a pair of 22s. Pierce for Green for the faceoff. Puck bounces. LaVenture will go in after it. Back to the left point, Kosher. Quickly to the right for Price. He'll throw this into the middle. LaVenture spins and fires. Couldn't get much on it. LaVenture will get another crack at it from the near corner. Backhands it back to the top for Kosher. Kosher walks the line away from Buhay. Kosher now throws it rink wide. That pass handcuffed everybody, and an odd man rush the other way. Lodwick has Buhay, and now joining him as well as Herman. Lodwick at the right circle. Fires save. Rebound. Buhay put it just wide. Pierce collects the rebound from behind the net. 6 minutes gone here in the third. LaVenture now one-on-one with Goldsmith. Trying to break to the outside, and Goldsmith was having none of that. Caden Gooley now takes it to the right of his goaltender, quickly up to Buhay. Buhay patiently spots Goldsmith. Another 3-on-2 rush for White. Herman down the far side, back for Goldsmith. The pass was behind him. Buhay coming late, chops this into the corner. First man back to it is Fouquet. He'll leave it on for McNutt. McNutt looking up ice, trying to start a breakaway attempt for Picacoot. Picacoot knocks it through, but Gooley is right on him. 6:40 gone in the third, still a 2-2 tie. Pass intended for Healy, misfires. The arm is up, and icing will be the call. If you're just joining us, in terms of offense, it was an uneventful second period. First period saw a 2-1 Green lead by the end with goals by Gossu and Pierce. Zachary Wilson replying for White, and just at the start of this third period, Michael Horan made it a 2-2 game. Faceoff will be to the right of Matthew Mallon in the White zone. Carter McKay will take it. Evan Herman is his opponent. Herman wins the draw, and that allows Allen some time. On for Healy. Quickly across for Buhay. At center ice, he'll gain the line and fire it off McNutt's shin pad and in. Fouquet back around for McNutt. On his forehand, up the wall he goes to Mack, turned it over to Wilson. Wilson trying to force his way off the wall, can't corral it. McKay lost it to Wilson in the slot, but he could not pull the trigger as Picacoot was right there. Picacoot's pass onto the tape of Alex Mack. Mack wide on Nolan Allen, now shoots off the mask of Mallon and back to the boards. Horan trying to go the other way. Aquilon stops him up, and he'll get the puck back from Picacoot. 7.5 played in this third period as Wilson keeps it onside for Team White. He'll backhand this down deep to start the cycle. Around the wall it comes to Allen. Allen chops this into the middle. It's picked off. Mack is going the other way. Aquilon's going to hustle up to join him. Mack down the left wing side. Cuts towards the goal for Aquilon, and a pad save and an easy one by Mallon as the puck never connected. Allen breaking out of his own zone. Lost it against the checking of Sanders, who breaks the other way with speed. Sanders over the line, tried to spot the back checking Gossu. And now he takes down Nolan Allen, and that will bring about a power play with just over 12 minutes remaining in the third period. The game is tied at 2, but a chance for the go-ahead goal is coming here. As Sanders got his stick into the feet of Nolan Allen, White will take a man advantage. We're tied at 2. Sanders sitting for 2 or less for the trip. Sorensen out for the draw for White, and he wins it. Gislason at the left point. Along the top he goes. Quickly across for Rodman. Rodman back into the middle for Cassette. They play catch. Gislason in the middle. Now to Sorensen at the left circle. Twisting away from the back check of Aquilon. Aquilon takes him off the puck, and that gives Gossu all the time he needs to send it down. Penalty killers change for Team Green. Warkentine and Ironside come out as the forwards, and Ironside is already in on the forecheck. Rodman ahead for Cossette. He's getting lined up by Kosher, but managed to get it over the line and in deep. Price slaps it around the boards. Gislason at the left point has it squeak past him, and all the other way goes Warkentine. He's got room, and maybe a step on Rodman. Warkentine shoots in a pad save. Mallon. The rebound collected by Gislason. His backhander across finds Sorensen. Sorensen gains the line with Warkentine in his hip pocket. Sorensen gets it back again. Paulette down for Cassette at the left circle. Walks in and fires. Save Hildebrand. The rebound pops free. Warkentine gets it to the line and out as the rolling puck would not settle for Goldsmith. 57 seconds now remaining in the penalty to Sanders. Gooley and Goldsmith will patiently wait for reinforcements off the bench. Gooley fanned on his pass. It rolls in. Kosher trying to start Ironside the other way. He might have a step. Gooley hustling back. Ironside tees it up, and he blasted it over top of the cage. Goldsmith right back to it. He'll lift this into the far corner. Kedrov going in on Kosher. He blocked that clearing attempt, throws it back out front. Crocker throws it out front, looking for Herman on the doorstep, and he couldn't pull the trigger. Herman gets the rebound, however. 27 seconds now in the power play. Herman to the inside, still with it, away from Pierce. At the left circle, Herman waiting. Across he'll go to Gooley. Now to Goldsmith at the left side. Back in the middle for Herman. On to Gooley at the right circle. Gooley shoots, saved by Hildebrand with the pad. Gooley back on it. 10 seconds now in the power play. Goldsmith at the right side. Up for Gooley. It's between his feet. He dodges a check. Gooley walks in and fires. Scores! Caden Gooley with a rocket. And an effortless looking one at that with just 3 seconds to go in the power play. Nearing the midway mark of the third, White has their first lead of the game. I'm not a coach, I'm not a strategist, but give Caden Gooley the puck seems like a good decision on the power play. Evan Herman will take the draw against Eric Pierce after the first power play goal of the game. Fouquet backs into his own zone, his pass in the feet of McNutt. McNutt got bodied by Herman on the near side. It comes free and on to Pierce. Pierce squeezed off. Nolan Allen will hold the line. Then he got buried by LaVenture. McNutt will have a little room to get it out as the hitting picks up here. On to Fouquet. Fouquet up for Pierce and quickly ahead for LaVenture. LaVenture fires it across, looking for Smith. Smith back in the middle, finds Pierce for a shot that was blocked by a stickless Nolan Allen. Smith on it again with 9:34 left of the third. White a 3-2 lead after that power play goal. Shot rolls wide, Smith picks it up. His second attempt blocked by Allen, who has retrieved his stick. Smith comes up with the puck, however. Back to the top for Fouquet. He could not keep it alive, and that will give Kedrov a little time, but he couldn't corral it either, and McNutt will dump this back in. Allen, forechecked on by Smith, finds Kedrov. Across he goes for Crocker. Crocker onto the tape of Golden, dodges the check of Picacoot and breaks over the blue line. In for a shot, blockered away by Hildebrand. Carter McKay back defensively, plays it up to Alex Mack. They turn it over down low against the forecheck of Lodwick. They'll need to get some help from Beagle, and they do. Up for Pikacoot on the right wing wall with 8:50 left in the third. Green having some trouble escaping their zone. Now they do as McKay sends it out to center for Mack. It goes off his cage and right to Pikacoot. Puck bouncing around in the neutral zone. White holding that 3-2 lead. Gooley with the go-ahead goal, a power play tally. The pass by Fouquet was out of everybody's reach, and icing is the call. Just as we hit the midway mark of this third period, Caden Gooley made it 3-2. Michael Horon squared the score at the start of period number 3. Faceoff will come to the right of Hildebrand, and Horon is going to take it for Team White. And he wins it back to Buhe. Across to Rodman, and back to Gislason. He'll throw this down low. First man to it is Trey Fouquet. Fouquet up the glass to neutral territory. Rodman there to recover defensively, finds Buhe. And Aquilon couldn't get to Buhe right away because he was fresh off the bench and risking a too-many-men call. 8:15 left in the third. White with that 3-2 lead on a power play goal by Caden Gooley. Rodman. His pass misses Lodwick, but does find Buhe. Into the middle he goes, and on to the tape of Horon, but he's offside. 8:03 to play in the third. 27 shots for Green, 25 for White. White's most recent shot off the tape of Gooley went into the back of the net, and Gooley's out now with Goldsmith, joined by Sorensen, Healy, and Wilson. Green counters with a forward unit of Sanders, Marchant, and Gossu, who started the scoring. Gossu plays this into White territory. Gooley back to retrieve it. He'll stop up in the corner and chip this up the boards. Healy fighting for it against Gossu. Sanders in to help out for Green. A rugby scrum on the near wall. Sanders comes up with it, down to Gossu. Sanders gets it back at the circle, thrown into the middle. Nobody home for Team Green, and White will have a chance to clear. Wilson does just that. He'll gain the red line and flip this past Aquilon. Out to play it is Hildebrand. Left behind his net. Beagle sends it up the board. Sorensen squeezed off neatly on the near side, but can't get it out. Shot dribbles wide off the stick of Goldsmith. Sorensen around for Healy. On his backhand, he'll send it out front for Wilson. It got off the heel of his stick and in on Hildebrand, who hangs on. 7:19 left in the third. It's really been a close game the whole time. Only once has there been a 2-goal lead, and it was the first lead of the game. Green getting a 2-goal lead in that first frame. Pierce to take the draw against Sorensen. And with some help, he wins it. Workentine ahead. Chips it past Goldsmith and tries to track it down on the forecheck. Gooley will get there first. Gooley and Workentine, shoulder on shoulder in the corner. Fighting for it, Gooley lifts it down low and on to Goldsmith. For Wilson, and quickly ahead for Healy. Healy out to center, knocks it past Price and tries to track it down. Icing waved off as Kosier and Healy go back for it. Sorensen knocks it down on the near wall. Workentine in for Green defensively, along with Pierce, who wins it back to Kosier. Across to Price. Price up for Ironside, and he comes out to center. Pass was in Pierce's feet, but he does collect it, and he'll dump this in deep. Wilson forces it out to center ice against the checking of Workentine. They tie one another up in front of the benches. It pops into the middle. The first man to it is Pierce. Pierce has a possible 3-on-2, but he's got to dump it in deep against the checking of Gooley with 6.5 left in the third. Ironside a big hit on Allen, who pops right back up. LaVenture on it. Fakes the handoff and carries to the middle of the ice. LaVenture fires, and he put it just wide. Another try from LaVenture. Didn't get much on that. Gooley in the right wing corner. Quickly ahead for Healy. Healy gains the red line and pitchforks it to Herman's side. He and Kosier battle for it on the near wall. Herman up against the Zamboni doors with 6:05 left in the third. Healy back to the point for Allen. Fakes the shot and slings it across. Too hot for Golden to handle, and Smith will get that out to center. A possible odd man rush for Green, but Rodman with the long reach, or pardon me, Golden with the long reach. It's applicable either way. Broke it up. LaVenture on it now. Back to the right point for Fouquet. He'll send it back down the boards on the cycle for McKay. Green searching for the equalizer, trailing 3-2. Pinching in is McNutt. Forces a turnover onto the tape of Smith. LaVenture at the left point. Nifty move away from Herman. Carries down the boards. Into McKay in the corner. McKay back to the top. Smith has room to walk along the outside and fires. He put it wide. Rebound for McKay, but he couldn't corral it. McKay and Cossette battle for it. Puck comes free for a moment. Allen is in to squeeze the boards, and Herman gets it for White. Pass tipped into the middle and out to neutral territory with 5:15 left in the third. Fouquet gaining the line. Fires it across for Pikacoot. It's waist high. He'll glove it down and bounce it back to McNutt. Into the middle for Fouquet. Dangerously, nearly knocked away by Cossette. And Fouquet tracks it down at center ice. 5 minutes to play in the third. A 3-2 White advantage. Pikachu tips it high in the air for Sanders, who might have a step if he hurries, but 2 white jerseys are on him. One of them is Horan, and he'll get it out to center. A flip play finds Kedrov. He's poke checked by Beagle. Now he'll wait for help and leave it behind for Horan. Horan waits and shoots. He put it just high. Rodman holds the right point for Team White. He'll dump it down low. Crocker battling forward against Fouquet. A couple of young players who saw their first WHL action in the bubble last year with 4.5 left in the third. Crocker with the size advantage wins it to Horan. Off the wall he comes. Throws it backdoor. He just missed Kedrov. Gislason pinches in. Falls but keeps the puck on side for the moment. Crocker in to help him out. It's lifted free by Beagle. He'll dodge a couple of checks and get it ahead. And on to Pikachu. Pikachu through neutral ice. Fires it across for Alex Mack. He'll spin it back to Aquilon. Aquilon through traffic. It tipped in on Malin, and he pounces on the rebound. He did not see it until it hit his cheater and then dropped down in front of him, whereupon he smothered it. 4:05 left in the third. Shots are 28-26 for Green. They trail 3-2. 2 goals in this period, both by Team White, one from Michael Horan and one from Caden Gooley. Face off to the right of Malin. Pierce scrambles it up. It's Rodman who comes up with it for Team White. Buhay can't clear the line. Pierce holds it onside. And for Gosu for a shot, Malin leaves no rebound as it hit him right in the collarbone. Face-off will be to Malin's right once again. Sorensen and Pierce the men to take it. Pierce wins it back, but too cleanly. Lodwick picks it up. He's away 2-on-2 with Buhay. Lodwick down the left wing side throws it towards the goal, and Buhay just could not get there in time. Rodman, who joined the rush, pins it on the far side. 3:42 left in the third. It comes free courtesy Sorensen. He's got Gislason at the left point, waits for traffic and shoots. Hildebrand the save. He doesn't know where it is. Rebound in tight, and it's poked aside. Marchant gets it out to Pearson, quickly on to Gosu down the left wing side. Gosu fires this in for a rebound. Got one, but the rebound's in the corner. Below the goal line is Marchant. On his backhand, now to the forehand for Aquilon. Back to Marchant. A backhand pass to the top, finds Beagle for a slap pass through traffic, and a big pad save by Malin on the redirection. And Buhay on the far side cannot get it out. He gets a little help, and now White will have some time to reset with 3:05 left in the third. Lodwick leads the charge through center. He'll lift this in. He needs a change, and now he'll get one as Beagle goes back behind his goaltender for Team Green. He got lined up and thumped by Herman, but made the play. McKay starts it the other way. Looking up ice for Ironside down the left wing wall. Ironside tried to go inside out on Gooley, who poked it away neatly and gets it up the boards. Not out, though. Kosher holds from the left point. Walks in and shoots. Blocker save. Rebound sits there for McKay. A try. Shoulder save again by Malin. And Herman will start the other direction. 2:36 left in the third. Green in need of an equalizing goal. Warkentine fighting for it against Goldsmith and Gooley. In to help is Landon Kosher. Kosher comes up with the puck. Tried to go outside to Ironside. Herman picked that off and starts back the other way. He's got a forward back playing defense, and now he'll catch up to it. Herman at the left circle tries to cut to the goal, and he runs over Hildebrand, but could not corral the puck. Pass hit McKay right in the foot. That'll give Golden room to walk in. Golden fires, and Hildebrand makes the trapper save. With 2:09 left in the third. Green really wanted that tying goal, and for a moment they came oh so close. But they'll have to reset from their own zone now, trailing 3-2 late in the third. 2:09 remaining in this final frame of regulation. Sanders out with LaVenture and Smith up front. Facing them are Horan, Ouellette, and Cassette. Kosher behind his cage. Sends this up the wall and out to center ice. Golden is on it. It's picked up by Smith and knifed out to center. Horan back defensively will play this across. And on to Nolan Allen. Allen looks ahead. Cassette dodges a check and comes over the line. Sanders is right back on him, however, to make the strip. Sanders looking up ice for LaVenture. He'll fire this ahead. LaVenture might have a step on Allen, but the puck rolls to the corner boards. Allen takes LaVenture off the puck. Strong arms it up the boards for Ouellette. The net is empty for Team Green with $1:35 left in the third. Back to the point it goes for McNutt. McNutt takes a shot through traffic, blocked before it ever got near the cage. Net empty for Green as they trail 3-2. White fighting for it on the near side. Alex Mack in for Green. Can't keep it on side as it goes past Fouquet and down the ice. Just over a minute left here in the third period. LaVenture leads the charge the other way. At the right circle, he fires from a bad angle. It's gloved down towards the goal. Big save by Malin, though that wouldn't have counted. Puck rolls out front. LaVenture scores! LaVenture takes it on the backhand, then shelves it, and we've got a tie game with 1:04 left in the third. So Smith tried something a little unorthodox there, gloving it down. We saw Landon Kosher lose a goal that way earlier. But ultimately it did end up in the back of the net thanks to LaVenture. We're tied at 3, and now in the final minute of the third period. Rodman looks ahead for Sorensen. He dodges Pierce and Pikakut, who tried to get him with the hip check. Sorensen, across he goes for Crocker for a shot, and that got the mask of Hildebrand. He let it drop into his glove. So the faceoff will be to the left of Max Hildebrand. Sorensen to take it against Pierce. We are tied at 3 with 47 seconds left in regulation time. Sorensen trying to fight his way loose. Can't against the checking of Pierce and Pikakut, and Pierce will skate it out to center. He's one-on-one with Gislason, pokes it past him and goes in after it. Eric Pierce, who had the second goal for Team Green, stapled to the backboards, left it for Alex Mack. Mack throws it down low, out of the reach of Pikakut, onto the stick of Rodman, up the boards for Crocker, but not out. Pikakut into the middle. Too far for the intended target. 18 seconds to go in the third. It's off the glass and down the ice. And Aquilon will get back fast enough for there to be no icing. We are tied at 3 in the final seconds of regulation time. Aquilon looking up ice. Pierce, a long lead feed, picked off at center by Goldsmith. Goldsmith stops up against Pikakut and fires this in deep, and that will wrap up regulation. And it looks like we'll get some free hockey here at the Art Hauser. Final shots on goal in regulation, 34-29 in favor of Team Green, but the score knotted at 3. We'll take a moment and come back for overtime. Nothing gets the heart rate up quite like 3-on-3 overtime, and that's what we've got here at the Art Hauser. After 60 minutes, we're tied at 3. You're with Rob Mann tonight. Caden Gooley gave White a go-ahead goal, and he is on the ice now with Herman and Goldsmith against McKay, LaVenture, and Kosher. And LaVenture was the man who tied the score for Green late in that third period. To start off overtime, it's McKay carrying up the near side, one-on-one with Goldsmith. Goldsmith stands him up, and Herman collects the loose change. Herman patiently now waiting for Gooley and Goldsmith to join him in this overtime period. Gooley takes the puck at center ice, and he's got a lane. Gooley trying to cut his way to the goal on the forehand, and got taken down by McKay. No call coming. And now it's a 2-on-1 rush for Green. LaVenture joined by Kosher. LaVenture at the right circle, pulls the trigger, saved by Mallon, and he pounces on the rebound. Now, Caden Gooley is not going to get a lot of favorable calls out here, I think, but may have earned one there. 3-3 the score after regulation time, and both teams with chances to end it early in the 3-on-3. Warkentine out with Sanders and Aquilon for an offensive zone draw for Green. Horon wins it back to Nolan Allen for White. He's got Sorensen with him as well, and Allen's going to skate it himself. He's got a step down the near side. Allen trying to cut his way towards the goal. Allen stops up, got taken down, and again no call as he goes barreling into the net. And the White bench is up in arms with 4:14 left in overtime. So both the first-round picks have had a chance to end it. As Allen goes sliding into Hildebrand. Horon and Sanders for the faceoff. Horon scored the first goal of the period for Team White back in that third frame to tie the score at 2. He and Sanders will go nose-to-nose on the faceoff dot to the right of Hildebrand. And Horon sweeps it back to Nolan Allen. Down the wall for Horon at the left circle. Horon goes across for Sorensen. Pad saved by Hildebrand and a beauty. And he dives on the rebound. Sorensen looks skyward in disbelief. Hildebrand got across to rob Sorensen of what would have been the game winner. 4:06 left in overtime. Plenty of shots each way already. We are knotted at 3. Horon and Sanders meet for another face-off. This one to Hildebrand's left. Horon wins it to himself. Along the top he goes. Back to Allen, who just keeps it onside. Allen waiting for traffic, worked on by the veteran Remy Aquilon. Aquilon one-hands that out to center and tries to find Warkentine. Warkentine knocks it ahead to himself, but it's beyond the reach of a scoring chance. He's knocked down by Horon. As Sorensen comes in to lift the puck free and does, and he's got Nolan Allen joining him for a possible 2-on-1. Sorensen down the left wing side. Sorensen across for Allen. It's in his feet. Allen throws it back out front. Sorensen's got room to walk in and shoot. Hildebrand makes another save on Sorensen. And again, keeps the rebound covered. 3:35 left in overtime. Shots are 35 to now 31. 3 goals each way. LaVenture with the equalizer late in that third period. Lodwick to take the draw against Ironside. Lodwick for white, Ironside for green. Lodwick has Gislason and Crocker with him for this offensive zone draw. And it's Green that comes up with the puck. Ironside across to Fouquet. His quick pass nearly knocked away by Crocker, but Green gets it ahead. Ironside will dump it in. Crocker scoops that up. Stopping up behind his net, waiting for help. He's got Lodwick in front of him and Gislason on his left. Crocker making moves. Watched closely by Smith. Across it goes to Lodwick in the clear. He shoots. Pad save Hildebrand. Rebound for Crocker, and he hooked it wide. Fouquet and Gislason shoulder on shoulder to the corner boards with 3 minutes left in overtime. Fouquet behind his cage, waiting for Ironside and Smith to get set. Fouquet will take it himself. Now to Ironside and back to Fouquet. Ironside down the left wing wall. Back to Fouquet in the middle. He got chopped away from the puck by Gislason at the last second. Otherwise, he was nearly in the clear. 2:42 left in overtime. Gislason retrieves the puck, and he's got Crocker ahead on a possible one-on-one with a forward back playing defense. Now a 2-on-1 as Gislason joins. Crocker across to Gislason in the clear, back across. They put it wide. Crocker can't believe it. He's almost got a smile on his face, does Crocker, because it seems so ridiculous that didn't end up in the net. The net was dislodged. Hildebrand got a piece of it. And I think much to the satisfaction of most of the fans here, overtime continues. We're halfway through it, and there have been chances aplenty. Kedrov out to take the draw now for White. One back to the point. Golden pinches down the wall, away from Rhett Marchand. Kedrov along the top. Leaves it off for Golden. He shoots through traffic. Hildebrand makes the save through the screen. And an effective one of Matt Healy. Kedrov will take the draw again. And again one back to Golden. He's got room and he's got a screen. He'll take the shot, blocked by Marchand. Kedrov back on it, on his backhand. Makes a dangle move, lost control of it, and Beagle sends it ahead. 2-on-1, stopped up, however, by a good poke check from Golden. Beagle will try again. Again, Golden is on it to seal the wall. Beagle dumps it ahead, bodied hard by Golden, and that will give Healy the time he needs to collect the puck. His pass goes off of the body of Marchand and right in on Mallon, who leaves no rebound. And now it's Buhay coming along with Wilson and Rodman for White. Green answers with McKay, Mack, and Price. So a unit of youngsters each way for an offensive zone draw for Green. McKay will take it, and he's been great in the dot tonight, and he wins yet another one. McKay patiently off the wall, waiting for Mack to get open. Back door, he'll drop it back to Price. Price fires, and it goes off the boot of Buhay and just wide. Buhay collects the rebound with 1:40 left in overtime. With speed through center he comes. Buhay over the line. Wide to his right, trying to take Price to the outside. Lost control of it. He fights for it now in the corner and turns it over. Here comes Mack with McKay on a possible 2-on-1. Hustling back is Wilson. Mack at the right circle, fires. It's blocked by Rodman, and it goes out of play. Liam Rodman got in the way of that shot with 1:24 left in overtime. And there's inactivity on the bench, so it looks like the youngsters will remain out. Carter McKay will put his immaculate faceoff record to work, but he finally loses one to Wilson. Buhay knocks it past Price and tries to track it down on the near side. Buhay falls, Price collects the puck, and he'll spin it up for Mack, but it's beyond his reach and out to center with 1:10 left in overtime. Rodman ahead to Buhe. He's got Ouellette off the bench, but the pass handcuffed him. Picked up by Mack now. He's one-on-one with Rodman. Mack, an inside-out move, dangles past Rodman. Mack to the backhand, robbed by Ouellette. Pass out front for Price, a shot, and Mallon makes another save. Mallon got the shaft of his stick on that backhand try by Alex Mack, and then took the shot from Price right in the gut. Ouellette, Cossette, and Gooley up against Warkentine, Sanders, and Beagle. Face off to the right of Mallon. Off the draw, Sanders. Throws it into the middle, pass too far for the intended target. Cossette will chase it down. He's getting worked over hard by Beagle. Cossette kicks it past Beagle. Gooley's already looking up ice, and Ouellette might have a chance to join him here. Ouellette hustling ahead, trying to drop his shoulder and drive the goal. Two Green players on him. It's left behind for Gooley. He shoots, he put it just wide. Gooley on his backhand now with 30 seconds left in overtime for Cossette at the top. Cossette along the umbrella, bounces it down to Ouellette, tried to go back into the middle, it's poked away by Sanders. Sanders looks up and spots Warkentine. Warkentine cuts into the middle and got rocked by Gooley before he could let the shot go. Sanders picks it up. Out of the corner he comes, Gooley's on his right, as is Ouellette. Pass ahead for Ouellette, possible 2-on-1 as he skates into the zone. The last man back is McNutt. Ouellette tried to go back and McNutt sprawled out to block it. 4 seconds left in overtime. Sanders has almost no time, he's got to take the shot, but he can't. And we're headed to a shootout. Well, I say that. In a normal game we would be, but in training camp sometimes they make them play on. We'll see what they ultimately decide to do here. Of course, you have contingencies for these things, but it's a rare enough thing when the green and white game goes not only to overtime, but beyond. We'll catch our breath for a moment here and come back with whatever the next option may be. 6 goals there.
I know. How about the NHL guys saying fuck camp? Head first into the boards, head first into the goal. Do the scrape the whole 9 here.
It is a shootout, right?
Yep.
Like Gooley letting the aggression out a little bit and just it's a score in the Labor Day or the Banjo.
9-6 Saskatchewan.
Oh darn.
Lubrow's got a touchdown, but
Now, you might be tuning in right about now and thinking, wait a minute, it's after 3 o'clock. Do you mean to tell me the green and white game is still going? Yes, I do. We had a late goal from Tyson LaVenture to tie the score at 3, and overtime, despite great chances at either end, did not produce a winner. So the Zambonis out right now scraping off the middle of the ice surface and a little bit of extra room on either side, and we are going to a shootout. And it's always fascinating to see which players get the call on shootouts. Personally, I am partial to using defensemen there because almost nobody knows what the defenseman has in his bag of tricks. And they tend to be surprisingly good at it. But we will see who ultimately gets to take the shootout shots for each team. Puck is down at center ice. Down to my left will be green goaltender Max Hildebrandt. Down to my right will be white goaltender Matthew Mallon, who made several grade A saves throughout his tenure in net. And the first man over the boards for green is the rookie Alex Mack, contending, as mentioned, for the unofficial lead in goals in camp, and here he gets to unofficially add to it if he can. So overtime solves nothing. Regulation only ends in a 3-3 tie. We go to a shootout, and Alex Mack leads it off. Mack cuts back to the middle. Cuts to the forehand, and he tried to open up the 5-hole. Mallon was not having it. So the answer from Team White will come from Zachary Wilson, who scored their first goal. What does he have in his bag of tricks? The youngster starts wide to his left. Cuts back to the backhand, put it just wide. Hildebrand may have gotten a piece with the toe. Wilson did the right thing, got him to stretch out, but Hildebrand got the edge of his skate on it. And now it's Cale Sanders, the former Regina Pat who spent last year in the Alberta Junior Hockey League. He has a chance to give Green the first goal of the shootout. Sanders at the left circle, fires, scores! Sanders low blocker to open the scoring in the shootout. Beating Matthew Mallon on breakaways has not been easy tonight, but Sanders managed it. And now it's Ivan Kedrov answering back for White to try and tie the score at 1. Kedrov goes the other way. Walks in, fakes, put it just wide. And the game now resting on the stick of the next man over the boards for Team Green, who will be Rhett Marchant. Rhett Marchant will take the shot for Team Green. He swings wide and now comes back into the middle. Marchant changing paces, stopped by Mallon. Fancy footwork, but Mallon was not fooled. That's twice now that they've tried to open up the 5-hole on him. Harrison Lodwick, the 2020 second rounder, will be the third shooter for White. Slow and steady comes Lodwick. Now right up the middle, he shoots and scores! Harrison Lodwick picks a corner. And we're tied at 1, and why wouldn't we be? The whole game has been close. Why should the shootout be any different? To extra shooters we go. Nathan Goss, who started the scoring in this game, he'll get a crack at the shootout here for Team Green. Gossu coming up the middle, slow and steady, walks in. To the backhand, he got poke checked by Mallon. And now the win rests on the stick of Tucker Buhe. The Estevan Bear, who has been everywhere in this preseason. He played for the Melville Millionaires a few nights ago against the Yorkton Terriers. And now he could score the shootout winner. Methodically comes Buhe at the circles. He shoots, pad save, and Hildebrand keeps the shootout going. Shooter number 5 for Team Green, Carter McKay. Earlier on in camp, he had 2 breakaways, one of which he scored on, one of which he didn't. Both times he made the same move. He cut hard to the backhand. We'll see what he does here. McKay going way wide. Cuts back to the middle. Now to the forehand, stopped by Mallon. McKay used every inch of the rink on that one, but could not beat Matthew Mallon, and now White has a chance to end it. London Ouellette. 3 goals in 3 games with the rink U16 last year. We'll see how his scoring touch holds up in the shootout. He comes up the gut. Ouellette stops up to the forehand, stopped in tight by Hildebrand. It was a great move, but a better save. And we continue. Now comes the defenseman. It's Keegan Beagle. Beagle is shooter number 6 for Team Green. At the left circle, Beagle shoots and a shoulder save by Mallon. And again, White will get their chance to end it. So who's going to be the man over the boards, or rather through the gate? It's Jacob Cassette. Cassette with speed. Right down Main Street. Walks in, pump fakes, and a trapper save by Hildebrand on a good backhand move. The shootout continues. Shooter number 7 now. And it's Ethan Ironside. Ironside, an 0-2. Made his name with his shoulders in camp. Let's see what he can do with his hands. Ironside walks in to the backhand, stopped by Mallon. The goaltenders covering themselves in glory in this shootout. And now with another chance to end it, Matt Healy for Team White. Healy goes up the middle as well. The puck rolling on him a bit. Healy into the forehand, blocker save. And calmly so by Hildebrand. To another round we go. This time it's Carter Price. Price had 8 points in 10 games with Prairie Hockey Academy last year. He has a little more speed as he comes up the middle. Price fires, saved by Mallon. He took that right in the midsection. Liam Rodman will see what he can do. Each team waiting to get to their veterans. Rodman, the defenseman. Wide to his left. Pump fake, shoots, and he rolled it right in on Hildebrand, who steered it wide. Now we're going to start seeing some more experienced players here, as it looks like the next man up for Team White is going to be Team Green, Tyson Smith. Made his junior debut last year with the Selkirk Steelers, and a productive player before that with the Winnipeg Wild. Smith at the circle, slows it up, holds and tries a pullback move, but he got poke checked and maybe tripped up just a little bit by Matthew Mallon. He was thinking Datsuk. Mallon was thinking, no, you're not. Wesley Golden now to take the shot for Team White. The game on the stick of Golden. Golden walks in, goes to the backhand, robbed by the paddle of Hildebrand. An incredible save. Golden made a great move. Hildebrand was just a little bit quicker, and he has been dynamite in this shootout, as both goaltenders have. It's really a duel right now between Hildebrand and Mallon, as Adam McNutt comes over the boards for Green. And McNutt comes right up the middle. McNutt fires, scores! Adam McNutt pops the water bottle. And the pressure is on the next shooter for White. Who will it be? Terrell Goldsmith, the big man. There's a lot of people who could meet that distinction, but he is the biggest man. He must score to prolong the shootout. Goldsmith right up the middle, shoots, blockered aside by Hildebrand. And Green takes the victory in the shootout. And a lengthy shootout it was. A hard-earned victory for them. They were up 2-0. They trailed 3-2. And then they managed to tie it late. LaVenture with the goal. And then a big-time goal in the shootout by Adam McNutt. That brings the Green and White game to a close. And you want training camp games to be close. This one was about as close as it could get. Regulation solved nothing. Overtime solved nothing. We went 9 rounds into the shootout before Adam McNutt finally got the game winner. That's me signing off for now. It's been great to be back on the mic and great to see hockey at the Art Hauser again. We'll be back here for the exhibition opener against the Regina Pats. I've been Rob Mann. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.